Super Bowl 59 had several outcomes that nobody saw coming. Taylor Swift getting booed, the first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl, Pat Mahomes being locked out of the GOAT debate indefinitely, and the Chiefs dynasty getting absolutely pummeled. But we'll get to that later. We have to start this video off by just recognizing and saying how impressive it was what the Eagles did to the Chiefs last night. I don't think there was a single person who predicted that outcome.
Okay, it's gonna be 40 and 22.
Who's winning?
Obviously Philly.
There was one person who predicted that outcome, and in one game, it just feels like the entire NFL landscape has been reshaped. And don't get me wrong, the Chiefs are still a dynasty. They are still here. They're still going to be good for the future. I mean, this could just be a hiccup. They could still win 4 more Super Bowls in a row after this. They really are still the team to beat. As long as they have Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, Chris Jones. For the Chiefs, they're not going anywhere. But what the Eagles did last night to the Chiefs after already beating the Super Bowl 2 years ago, we might have a whole new dynasty on the horizon. Drink your water. You can say what you want about Jalen Hurts, obviously, as Jordan launched a commercial right about the hate and doubt he's received this entire run these past couple of years. But the man is a baller. The man, I mean, he is a good-looking dude. He's got that smile. He's got that look. I mean, he's already sponsored by Jordan, which has to say something. And out of absolutely nowhere, did we just get the new face of the NFL? 2026 all of a sudden gets so much more interesting than we realized. With Aaron Rodgers potentially to the Vikings for maybe 1 year to also teach JJ McCarthy. Speaking of McCarthy, the Cowboys are moving away from Mike McCarthy, so we'll see what they'll be doing next year. With the Patriots hiring Mike Vrabel, bringing back Josh McDaniels, having the 3rd pick in the draft, I mean, maybe they're good. These are some good storylines. Hit that subscription button. Now, when it comes to comparing Brady's and Mahomes, obviously the GOAT debate will never be finished. Mahomes is only 29 years old. The guy could be playing like this for another 10, 12 years, and who knows what he accomplishes in that time. But the fact is, getting blown out in 2 Super Bowls is a big deal. It is a big stain on your resume. It's going to be a tough element to overcome in the GOAT debate. Tom Brady might have 3 losses in the Super Bowl, but by the slimmest of margins. And going a little bit deeper than that, pulling the onion layers back, if you noticed the game last night, whenever they focused in on Pat, he seemed to have just been sulking, to just be really upset at the moment. And again, this is only what we can see, right? They didn't show the moments of him hyping the team up if they existed, but usually the broadcast shows that moment when, Tom Brady walks over to his team and he's like, hey guys, just to let you know, I'm gonna kill you and your family if we don't make this comeback, right? So let's get it together here. They usually show that, right? But we didn't get that element of the Chiefs at all. Travis Kelce on the sideline, that famous, now infamous shot of just the entire team just looking like they just saw ghosts. I didn't expect that. For a team going for their 3rd championship in a row, I mean, obviously their gas tank could be on empty. They could be genuinely tired. There's also no doubt that this team has just limped their way after game after game after game this year, barely getting by, especially there in the AFC Championship, 1 yard line. He got the first down. We're not going to talk about it. But the fact is, it's very possible the Chiefs just were out of gas. The Chiefs were not supposed to be here. They were just good enough to just be in the position where they felt they should be, right? But they're not good enough to actually win in that position. And usually when you look at a game's timeline, you can point to a few moments where a team almost made a comeback to almost change everything and swing the momentum back the other way. And the only time I can think about that is when DeAndre Hopkins dropped that pass going across the middle. He was wide open, would have scored a touchdown. It would have been 24-7 with a chance for the Chiefs to get the ball back after the half to go 14-24, and it's a whole new ball game. I mean, that drop was so critical. I mean, you saw Chris Jones on the sideline drop to his knees. That, honestly, when I saw that happen, you could just tell, like, no, it's not like them just waiting to get, back into gear and move. I mean, there's something off with this team.
I don't feel so good. I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
I mean, that beatdown was so bad. Now I'm sitting here thinking, wait a second, was this game so rigged because the NFL knew the only way that they could just erase the doubt of there being a rigged system for the Chiefs would be to just make the Eagles win by this much? Because again, now you're seeing all kinds of Chiefs fans breaking down the game, saying, oh, look at all these fouls that were missed, all these calls. Obviously, every game has bad calls. There's still no doubt. Even the game started off with a terrible call. I think we can all agree the way the game started, when that flag got thrown, everyone sat up and thought, oh no. Oh no. But the Eagles said it doesn't matter. We're not going to even make it close. I do have another conspiracy for you, though. This play right here where Joe Thuney got pushed back into Pat Mahomes and threw that interception. Yeah. No, Joe Thuney, let me tell you right now, he was the starting tackle there for Tom Brady. And now, how ironic is that? Joe Thuney just happens to let him, get pushed back, all pro all year into Pat Mahomes. He throws an interception, and now look, Tom Brady's legacy's secure, huh? Someone needs to check Joe Thuney's bank accounts, who's been wiring him. Check Tom Brady's Venmo. Not only did we finally have an interception by a white cornerback, we had a pick six by a white cornerback in the Super Bowl against arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. That was historic. I did think it was really interesting that even though the lead was 24-0, that at no moment did anyone feel that lead was safe. It felt like the Chiefs could storm back any second, but again, that is a little bit of the element that they lost when Tyreek Hill went down to Miami, because at some point or another, yes, they're still amazing, they still won Super Bowls after him, but just having him allowed you to throw this just unbeatable haymaker just in an instant, which we did see. We did see that quick touchdown throw at the end, but at the same time, those are garbage time touchdowns, and they're just not as valuable. The real score to this game is 40-6. Random fact, the record for the most playoff wins in a row is still with the Patriots at 10 in a row, and the Chiefs will sit at second place with 9 in a row. So for Chiefs fans, I'm sorry about that. The Patriots dynasty is still the greatest dynasty in NFL history. I mean, overall, from a competitive standpoint, it was a horrible Super Bowl, right? I mean, the reality is it wasn't competitive. Usually, you'll want a game that's going to be back and forth. It comes down to the end, but for a blowout, for a game like this was oddly entertaining, I think, because the entire game we still felt we might see the greatest comeback ever. I kept thinking to myself, well, if Pat Mahomes comes back from this, he will be the GOAT because he'll be doing what Brady did, but even better on a better defense. But that didn't happen, and it was interesting in the fact that it was what we didn't expect to see, and there were a lot of scoring. It wasn't like it was just a really boring 17-0 game. There's a lot of scoring, a lot of turnovers, so that made it interesting. That made it fun to watch. The commercials, let's be real, the commercials in the Super Bowl this year were better than normal. I'm definitely gonna say they were better than normal for sure, but there was a time once where like you would not leave the room. You would use the bathroom during the game. You would never leave during the commercials. I found myself leaving the room during commercials, and I thought to myself, while I was sitting there taking a tinkle, I would have never used the bathroom during commercials 10 years ago. Let's just drink your water. And the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar, I mean, it was good. If you know rap music, you understand what rap music is like live. It is not like the studio mix. It's not what you hear on the radio. That same energy, that same clarity, it's not what you get in the live performance. So people who haven't seen rap concerts, people who have no idea what to expect when they go see rap concerts, they see the Kendrick Lamar halftime show and think, oh, that was boring, that was terrible. And the reality is, it's like, well, no, that was actually really good for a rap concert, because again, it's just not the same vibes as people singing and melodies and playing guitars and drums. Like, the sound and clarity is completely different. And I love Kendrick Lamar. I love Drake. I think both of them create amazing music. I think Kendrick Lamar is the better rapper. I think Drake is the better artist overall, but that was brutal. And I kept joking with my friends. I was like, I don't care, I'm suing. And they're like, well, you can't sue. It's this. I was like, no, I'm suing. I don't know who I'm suing, but somebody's getting sued. And of course, Kendrick Lamar said they're going to sue him like that. I was like, yeah, I would be suing. Almost every one of my channel's viewers is not subscribed to the channel. Do me a huge favor and hit that subscription button. We're trying to get monetized. My dog and I. That was pretty brutal. But overall, Super Bowl 59, the last thing I expected. It was pretty entertaining. My mom cooked up some amazing food, so that was amazing. We had a really good time laughing. As a Patriots Tom Brady fan, I had no idea that Tom's legacy would be, pretty much solidified with this game. I just did not expect a dud like this from them, but it was good. The NFL is actually much more interesting now with the Chiefs losing, because obviously now they have to rebound. Will that be cool? We talked about it earlier, obviously all these other elements. This will be an amazing 2026 football season. So yeah, that's enough yapping for today. And if you enjoyed this video, think about watching either of these videos that's on the screen. Go out there and do something great.